Hello students, today's topic is heating effect of electric current. So here I have considered one circuit. The resistance R, one conductor I have considered having the resistance R, and I have connected this one resistor in between the point A and B, and the ends of the resistor is connected to the electric cell along with the plug key. Now when the switch is on, the current will flow through the circuit. Now as the current is flowing through the resistor, that after some time this resistor gets heated. This resistor gets heated. Now the question will arise in our mind that why the resistor gets heated. We know the mechanism that in a conductor, that is the resistor, the electrons, that is the charges, are in motion. When the current is flowing in a conductor, the charges are in motion. Okay. Now, when the current is flowing in a conductor, these charges, that is the electrons, will collide with one another. Got the point? So, due to the collision, this conductor gets heated. This conductor gets heated. So here, in a conductor, due to the flow of electric current, it gets heated. This phenomena is called as heating effect of electric current. Once again, when we pass the electric current through the conductor, it gets heated due to the flow of electric current. This phenomena is called as heating effect of electric current, right? So here, heating effect of electric current, the phenomena of production of heat in a conductor due to the flow of current through it is called as heating effect of electric current. Heating effect of electric current. Okay. Now, you see here, when the current I is flowing through this one conductor, can I say this one the Q charges are flowing in a conductor? Right? What about the charges? How many charges are flowing? That is Q charges are flowing. You know this one, that whatever the amount of flowing the charges in a conductor, that can be written as Q is equal to I into T. Q is equal to I into T. So how I have written here? Look at here. Once again I will just explain it. When the current I is flowing through this one conductor, which means that here the charges, that is the charges, the electrons are in motion. So the amount of charges, whatever the amount of charges flowing in a conductor, that can be written as Q is equal to I into T, because what is the current formula? I is equal to Q divided by T. Therefore, Q equal to, I can write I into T. Got the point? So here I will write that amount of charges flowing in a conductor is given by that is Q is equal to I into T. Right. Now, what about the potential difference? Here we have applied the potential difference, that is V. Now you know that here the charges are in motion, means there is a work done. To move the charges, there should be a work done. So the work done to move the charges can be written as W is equal to V into Q. Correct? Because what about the potential difference formula? V is equal to Q divided by, that is V is equal to W divided by Q. This is the potential difference formula. So I can write here work done is equal to V into Q. Work done is equal to V into Q. What I mean to say is, when the charges are moving in a conductor, there is a work done. Okay, so how much work done is going on in this one conductor? This much. That is W is equal to V into Q. Right? The work done to move the charges from A to B, that is to move the charges from A to B. Right. Now, by Ohm's law, we have V is equal to I into R. Now, put this one value of V is equal to I into R in the above expression. Let I call this one expression 1, this is expression 2, and this one is third. Okay, right. Now, from equation 2, we get what we get from the equation 2, that is W is equal to, in place of V I will write this one I into R into Q. In place of Q I will write I into T. Got the idea? Right. Now this is equal to, W is equal to I into I square, R, this one T as it is. Now here, what is the total work to move the charges from point A to B? This one, that is W is equal to I square R into T. That is T stands for the in time T. Okay. Now here this whole work done, that is it's going to be referred as, that is energy. That is the work done is nothing but the electrical energy here, and that electrical energy is getting converted into heat energy. So here in place of W I can write H, that is heat energy, right? So H is equal to I square R into T. So here the heat produced in a conductor is equal to I square R into T. So this expression is called as Joule's law of heating. This expression is called as Joule's law of heating. Right. Now, see here. This Joule's law of heating is stated as that the heat produced in a conductor is directly proportional to the square of the current, and it is directly proportional to the resistance of the conductor, and it is directly proportional to the time for which the current is passed. Let I make it simplifications in a simpler way. The heat, whatever the amount of heat is producing in a conductor, that heat is directly proportional to the square of the current, which means, let's suppose that if we have passed 4 ampere of current initially, right? What about the heat produced? Let's say it is 20 joules. Fine. If we have increased the current, that is 6 ampere current is flowing through the resistor, that is the conductor R. Now this one, the heat produced in a conductor, it is also increases, right? So this is the meaning of this one. The heat produced in a conductor increases. Are you getting this one? Right. Now similarly, that is it depends on resistance. It depends on resistance of the conductor. If you have taken a highly resistive conductor like nichrome wire, let's suppose that nichrome wire, it is a highly resistive conductor. So here, if we have passed the electric current through the highly resistive conductor, the heat produced in a conductor is very high, right? If you have taken like the wire, like copper wire you have taken, okay, like copper wire you have taken, you know that when the resistance of the copper wire is very less, and whatever the amount of heat is produced in a copper wire is very less, right? Now here we have T, that is T stands for time. At what time, for how much time we are passing the current? For 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours we are passing the electric current through this one conductor. That also depends on the heat production. That also depends, the time also depends, that one how much heat is produced in a conductor. So this is called as Joule's law of heating. So let us write here the amount of heat, that is heat produced in a conductor. Heat produced in a conductor is directly proportional to first one, that is square of electric current. Second one, resistance of the conductor. And the third one is time for which the current is passed. So these are the important points you need to be remember regarding the Joule's law of heating. So this Joule's law of heating, let's say that any conductor, we are for house wiring purpose, we are using the copper wire. Now in that one copper wire, does the heat is produced? Yes, the heat is produced. So why can't we felt that one? Why can't we feel that one heat produced in a conductor, in a copper wire? Because whatever the amount of heat produced in that one copper wire, it's get radiated. It means it comes out in the form of radiation. Okay, so when it comes out in the form of radiation, whatever the heat of that one copper wire is there, it remains constant. Whereas if you have taken nichrome wire, the heat produced in a nichrome wire, it cannot be radiated, right? So here, for the heating element, for the heating purpose, most of the time that we will use the conductor which is having high resistance, that is like nichrome wire we will use for the heating element purpose. This one you need to be remember very well, right? Now one more thing, one more example I wanted to give you, that if you have taken electric fan. So electric fan is also the electrical appliances, and it will also work by using the electrical energy. Now that electrical fan, it's also get heated, but when you have used it for long time, that is what? That is also the heating, due to the heating effect of electric current, right? Here one important point you need to remember, that not all the electrical appliances will get heated, right? Not all the electrical appliances will get heated. Only some electrical appliances will get heated. For example, I will tell you now that this fan will not get heated. This fan will not get heated, right? This fan will not get heated. It will get heated when you have used this electric fan for a long time, right? When you have used it for a long time. Whereas if you have used heater, geyser, electric kettle, these are all the electrical appliances. These electrical appliances will contain the heating element like nichrome wire. Due to this one heating element nichrome wire, these electrical appliances will get heated, not the electric fan. So these are the important difference you need to be remember. Now suppose that we have the formula, the heat produced in a conductor is H is equal to I square R into T, right? Now let's suppose that now if we have doubled the current, whatever the amount of current is flowing in a conductor, if we have doubled, then what will happen to the heat produced in a conductor? We wanted to know that one, right? So here in this one situation, if we double the current, the heat produced in a conductor, it increases to 4 times. So how? I will show you. Let's suppose that if we have passing the current 2 ampere, okay, if we are passing the current 2 ampere through the conductor, the heat produced in a conductor, let's suppose that it is 6 joules, right? Now if we have double the current, that is I is equal to 4 amperes. So here the heat produced in a conductor, it increases to 4 times. That is, earlier it was 6 joules. Now 4 times, in the sense it is 24 joules, right? That is 6 4s are 24. So like this, when the current is doubled, the heat produced in a conductor increases to 4 times. This is the first point we have to remember, that if we double the current, then heat produced in a conductor increases to 4 times. Increases 4 times. This is the very important word we have to remember. Now let's suppose that if we have halved the current, that if we have that half current, if we wanted to flow, let's suppose that here 2 ampere current we have passed. Now here current is halved. The meaning of the word halved is that is half current we have just allowed the conductor to flow the half current. Now in this one situation, that is, let's suppose that the current is 1 ampere. The current is 1 ampere. The heat produced in a conductor, it decreases to, that is, 1/4 time. It decreases to 1/4 time. When the heat is going to be decreases 1/4 time in a conductor, when we have passed the electric current, that is halved. In the sense, that is the meaning of the word halved is half current. Earlier it was 2 ampere. Now you are passing the electric current 1 ampere. Now it will be whatever the amount of heat produced in the conductor, it is 1/4 time. So what is the meaning of that one? How we are going to calculate? That is 6 divided by 4. 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 1s are 2 1s are, put 1 point, take 0, 2 5s are, that is it decreases to 1/4 time, in the sense that is the heat produced in a conductor is 1.5 joules, right? So this is the first factor we need to remember, that when the current is doubled, the heat produced in a conductor increases 4 times. When the current is halved, the heat produced in a conductor decreases to 1/4 time. These are the 2 words we have to remember. Next quantity is resistance. As we know that when the heat produced in a conductor and the resistance is directly proportional to each other. If we have double the resistance, then heat produced in a conductor also doubles. So double the resistance, the heat also doubles. Got the idea? Let's suppose that when resistance is R, heat is producing, that is H. When resistance is doubled, what about the heat? It will also doubles. Like this we need to be understand. Let's suppose that if we have made the resistance halved, that is half resistance. Halved, the meaning of the word is that is half, that is 1/2, and the heat produced in a conductor also halved, right? So this is the second important point we have to remember in terms of resistance. And the third one is, that is time. Now this time and the heat produced in a conductor are directly proportional to one another. So here also, when we double the time, the heat produced in a conductor also doubles, right? That is 40. The heat produced is H. If we have doubled, heat also doubles. Similarly, if we have halved the time, that is half, okay, that is T/2, heat also halved. That is, heat also decreases to half. So these are the some other important factors, the important words we need to be remember in terms of the heating effect of electric current. Thank you.